So again, now in communication styles, we do get into the yellow and blue style, who are very much more casual and informal, and therefore they will go off on tangents and they will provide maybe information that is not pertinent or necessary. So relevant details or relevant benefits to the receiver. The D stands for desire. You want to highlight, why does it matter to them? Now, in our classes and way back, we talked about a radio station, YIIFM. What's in it for me? You know, if you're communicating with me, why should I hurry up and meet this deadline? I got plenty of my own things to do. Or you're trying to sell me on to change a process, or you have a new idea, or convince your boss to have more one-on-ones with you. Well, what's in it for me, please? So is it money saved, time saved, those types of things. The A is for action. Clearly state what you want people to do. Please don't be vague. And we get this so many times. People fill out a contact form. I want to know about training for assistants. Okay, you know, we have over 250 courses. We have a conference. We have certification courses. What do you want? Clearly state what you need. Get rid of the extra fluff words. They call them the unnecessary words. I learned this years ago from other business books I have bought. You don't need to say the month of May. It's just May, okay? Or the 16th of May. It's May 16th. So do you see? Everything's got to be clear, concise, crisp. People simply do not have the time today or the bandwidth because they're very distracted. And so again, this benefits you. When you think about them, it actually benefits you. And then with all these tools, we've started to heavily use now. I'm so excited, Asana, okay? For my team has been using it for quite a while, and marketing and other people are other members of our team, but now we all got on board this year. So I'm noticing though, you know, with everything in there and our notes and our communications and all of that, like, and my team's really clear and they're amazing. There's still every once in a while, I'm not quite sure what you're asking me for. So I know this, I try to be clear and I don't always get what I want. So this is too, when you have to talk to people, talk. Also know, when to not go back and forth 100 times in a text, instant message, you know, so think about efficiency as well. All right. I want to see how everybody's doing. We're at 10:30 and hopefully you're all keeping up. Okay. So we're under number 2, crafting effective messages. So the next main point is you've got to use emotional intelligence. I don't care if you're tired of hearing about it. I'm going to talk about it forever. It's true. And if you don't, how many of you actually have taken training, serious training on emotional intelligence? If you have, say yes in the chat. Because a lot of people talk about it, but they've never actually taken a class and understand the 4 dimensions and how that plays out. Let's see. Yes, yes, yes. I'm very proud of all of you who have been exposed to this. So the next question is, are you using it? It's very hard. So the stage I'm talking about, it's the 3rd dimension, getting to know you. And that's hard sometimes because you're doing some training, some no's. Okay, so really quick, the first stage, and these are by Daniel Goleman, Goleman, who is the godfather of emotional intelligence. The first stage is really, I know me, as I call it, self-awareness. The second is I manage me. I can know me and not manage me. The third is I know you. I try hard to get to know you. So this is what I'm talking about. You've got to read emotional cues. Gauge a person's mood. And we actually talk about this in Star Achievement Series, Level 3. It's about matching and countering someone's mood. And there are scenarios in that workshop, in that class, where here's a scenario. Now, how are you going to match that person's mood in a positive way, even if they're negative? And then how are you going to contrast it? So again, this is deep. This is not surface training. This is not surface. If you really want to get into communication and elevate yours, you've got to go deep into that. So like I said, gauging the mood, if you're in that, even if it's a one-on-one, with your leader, how are they feeling? How are they reacting or talking? I mean, Malia's great on this. Of course, I'm a very expressive person. So it's pretty easy to kind of pick up on me, but Malia knows it as soon as I walk in the door. She knows, and she will relate to that, So next is to tailor your responses based on that. So I'm picking up on you. Let's say, I don't know, it could be, I don't know. Let's say I'm in a training and we're working on an activity, or I'm trying to communicate a tip or technique, and I could see in someone's face, they're confused. They can't connect the dots. I could just see it. It's like, okay, how can I say this differently so that it makes sense to you? How can I help connect those dots? So you want to just tailor everything. Let's say that someone is super sensitive and you have to deliver bad news. You want to tailor or soften your communications. Or let's say somebody's high energy, and they're our red style. That's me, red style. I don't get offended easily. Tell me what you want to tell me. It's okay. Unless it's personally about me, a personal attack, that's different. But if it has to do with work, just tell me, okay? So Taylor, here's the key tip. On number 2, practice empathy. Take time to understand the emotional context of a situation or a person. It's not just about, again, hurry up, get my emails done. I've got to respond to everybody. Oh, I got to text this person because they're texting me or they're instant messaging me and I've got to respond right away. And, you're like hamsters on a wheel. Stop for a few minutes. Sense the emotional tone. And if you're in person, of course, that makes it 10 times better. That's what people don't understand about being in person. They don't get it. And we need to get it. So let's go on. Number 3. I think you're going to like this one. Managing upward communication. Before I do that, I've got to get some water. All right. Again, this is something we have been teaching in our Star Achievement Series for years. How do you give feedback to the people you report to? So, and not only the people you report to, let's say there's someone in another department who is a director or manager or a VP, but you've got to provide some kind of feedback. So that's intimidating. So first of all, there's going to be 2 main points and then sub points. So number 1 is setting expectations. And the idea is to use what they call if-then scenarios. If we do this, then this will happen. And that could be, usually positive, but it could be a negative. If we do this, we might risk losing that client. If we say this, but it could be positive. Like if we implement this new process I've thought about, we can increase our productivity by 20%. If then. When you're using this, let's say really basic, so many assistants wish they had more one-on-one time with their direct report, the person they report to the most. If we can just carve out 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes, then we could quickly go through our status updates. We can clarify the 3 top priorities for the day. We can keep information flowing. I can ensure that I'm meeting your expectations. Do you see how that works? And then under the expectations, be proactive. Outline possible solutions and next steps before presenting ideas to your executive or a department, or maybe you're working on a project team. You know, think these things out first. All right, the next bullet point under that is to use feedback loops. And you probably do this and you don't really know their feedback loops, but a couple things. There's 2. One is regular check-ins. Okay, you should have regular check-ins with the person you support the most. Regular. And then there's regular check-ins you might have with people if you're working on a project together, or maybe you're trying to coordinate a trip, you know, with your executive and another executive, and you and the assistant have to work together and they're not getting back to you. You initiate these. Don't wait. Don't wait and say, well, they didn't get back to me, so I don't have an answer. You know, we'll initiate it. Okay? It's simple. It's really simple. And you don't have to be a nag about it, but it's just, hey, just a reminder, I was hoping to get your information by the end of today, or by, if today's Tuesday, I'm hoping to get your information by tomorrow, by 5 o'clock. Again, everybody's busy, so they don't always remember everything. And then also within that, so we have the regular check-ins. Next is what it's situation-behavior-impact. It's called SBI. So you are saying in situation X, when you did Y, the impact was Z. So it focuses on facts. So it would be in a situation where something has occurred. This is what I think of. The situation occurred. So in this situation was X. And then we did Y, and Z was our impact.